we've seen that the MDAS and the MMC double kill, and then the bottleneck, particularly as an undergrad doctor or a PLAB doctor. Now the same cycle is repeating all over again. There's so many PLAB doctors, and I remember how devastated I felt during those periods.
Yeah.
I told the family, and then I took a loan and prepared for the exam. I moved over here, and then there are not many jobs available. Is there anything that you think would help them or advise them? I mean, from my point of view, I was advising not to give PLAB anymore, and in fact, aim and get some experience in your specialty of interest. It could be any psychiatric medicine and complete your membership. But your version, what do you think?
So
Or no,
it is a supply and demand issue. Basically, which we have to understand that UK, at the end of the day, it is a smallish sort of country, uh, and obviously when they were short of doctors, they will open the doors, they will make things easier, they will make the immigration rule easier because they want the specialists, they want that flow to come in. But then when there are too many people coming, then they have this thing about changing the rules, or too many people will be given GMC registration, but there won't be enough job. And nowadays, as you said, the people who've just done PLAB, they're applying for job, for the junior job. For a single job, you have like 200 applications. So it becomes more difficult to then get your CV noticed on those jobs. So I would say to people, I'm advising people nowadays, people who contact me and say, I've done PLAB and I've been waiting for a year, I don't know what to do and all that. So if you are in your home country, I would ask you to, not to burn all the boats there. PLAB is not at present not one of those pathways that you're doing PLAB and you leave everything else. You think, I'm not going to do any more jobs anymore. I'm just going to go. My next job will be in UK. So what you can do is in your home country, you can still pursue your training, pursue your interest, whichever specialty you're going on. Try and get training into that. Try and get job into that, and then try to get to the next stage, which is the Royal College exams. If you're interested in medicine, MRCP in surgery, MRCS, MRC Psych for psychiatry, is likewise Obs and Gynae, Peds. They have their own exams. So you need to continue on that journey. That at some point you will end up in UK. That's what I can tell you. Once you have the experience, then you have the membership exams, then your CV would be looking much more impressive. So the saturation is at the junior level. At the middle grade level, obviously, it's not as saturated as the junior level. And as a consultant level, as you become senior, there are actually more jobs because not everybody who's getting CCT in UK is actually staying in UK. They are actually exploring other countries. They're going outside. So UK is not like one of those things you either do PLAB and if you don't get a job, then that's the end of your journey. There are other stages you can enter as well. You can continue to gain experience, gain exams, improve CV, and then try again. So that is what I normally advise nowadays.
Madan,
Just
you're nodding. I see. Obviously, you must have come across a lot of PLAB doctors.
Of course, I heard about the whole 2008 2009 cycle from my colleagues who are senior than me, and the issues with job at that time. But I think one thing that's extremely understated is a clinical attachment. People don't realize, sometimes they feel that, oh, I did one clinical attachment, do one, do two. It's very, very likely that you'll find a job opportunity with a clinical attachment. Even if not immediately, then in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 months. But if you leave an impression there with your supervisor, with your consultant, if and when a job comes up in their team or the neighboring team, especially in psychiatry, I know this in psychiatry because within the last 4 years of me being here, I think directly or indirectly, wherever I was working, we've ended up recruiting at least 3 clinical attaches. So even if you end up being there for, say, 2 months, 1.5 months, of course, there's the whole financial commitment around it, and I completely understand and respect that you're earning in your home country, you're making money, and then you leave all of that on a tourist visa or something. You come here, spend those 2-3 months, but more often than not, that's a good investment. If you're really struggling to find the right jobs, and if you can get your foot in the door in a clinical attachment, not only will it help your CV, but it will help you network and get your foot in the door with a lot of different places. That is an important thing to sort of keep in mind if you're struggling to find leads with jobs.
That's how it worked for me as well. I think I did like around 4 months clinical attachment. 2 times you had to pay for them. And that is when the consultant said, like, Navi, I could see you struggle. I've seen you work hard and then committed. So she opened the doors, and then that's how I got through the system. Other thing is like ALS and part of the membership exams, I think it will help, at least from my perspective.